Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on the latest news now. It's currently regarding Alexis Sanchez. I've said to you guys on quite much of a regular basis, I've mentioned Alexis Sanchez now. Apparently, with teams being heavily linked with him through the majority of the last chance window that's just gone, it didn't materialise, he did not make the move, and he did end up staying at Arsenal. Obviously, with Arsenal and his resistance and reluctant to offload the player during the chance window, but now this could be a very, very good news for Manchester City, because he could be available for just £20 million. Could Sanchez in January. City will be emerging as front runners. They'll be in there first to get Sanchez in January, and they could get the pursuit of Sanchez for just £20 million. I don't think City are prepared to offer any more money for a player that he's obviously refused to sign a new deal. He's coming to an end of his deal, and by the time January comes, he's only going to have about 5 or 6 months left on his current deal. Is Alexis Sanchez. City may feel as though why should they have to pay the £70 million that they'd offered in the £50-60 million, should I say, that they offered in the current transfer window, but it didn't currently materialise. So City could get the current player cheap. I think Arsenal would want to cash in on the current. They'd want to cash in on Alexis Sanchez, and for me, they've missed a big opportunity, because Arsenal could have got £60-70 million for him during the last transfer window, but obviously Arsenal would try to find a replacement, so it didn't materialise. But instead, they could lose out on 30, 40, 50, they could lose out on 30, 40 million down. If they'd have cashed in on the £50-60 million that City have offered, they'd have cashed in then. But if they'll cash in January, for the £20 million, which is but they've still lost out, because they could have got £50-60 million for him. The wind's just gone, and if they were to sanction him off in January for just £20 million, they have still lost out. But they would still be generating some funds for Alexis Sanchez departure. Then rather than let him go free next summer, because he will become free next summer if the current player has not left the club by then. But it's just been reported in a couple of reports. It's about it's in the Sun. It's in a couple of reports that apparently he's currently on international duty. We know that he wants to leave Arsenal, and apparently he's prepared to have more discussions with Arsene Wenger. Alexis Sanchez. Pep Guardiola hasn't really said much regarding the player, but he's keen to reunite with him after they were fantastic together at Barcelona. He currently purchased him, I think, from Udinese in 2011, where the player had risen up the ranks. He's won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons with Arsenal. But for him, that's not currently enough, and this is the first time in 2 decades now that Arsenal, have not got Champions League football. But they are the all-time FA Cup holders. I think they've won 13, we've won 12, so they've overtaken us in that situation. But I think from Sanchez's perspective, that's currently not enough. And we know in this transfer window, Arsenal have generated, more funds. They've generated a lot of money. They've raised more money than they've actually spent on players, and they've only bought actually one player, which was Lacazette. This has just been basically reported in the Sun. Arsene Wenger must have plans for January to get an attacker in. He's thinking of getting an attacker in between £60-70 million. They may even still regard their interest in Thomas Lemar in the January transfer window. But Arsenal had paid £35 million for Sanchez back in 2014. He scored 24 goals last season, did the current player, and he just insisted he wanted Champions League football. And we know numerous teams in the window had been interested. He turned down a £300,000 a week offer from Arsenal. He was demanding £400,000 a week with Alexis Sanchez. He's had talks with Venny before. It confirmed the other week before the window just shut. They were doing discussions over this situation with Alexis Sanchez. But they're prepared to have more talks with Wenger and Sanchez over this situation. He's coming to an end of his deal. He doesn't want to sign an extension, does Sanchez. He does want to leave the club, so he will be very, very frustrated that he didn't leave. And I thought he was going to leave, but Arsenal were only prepared to soften their stance regarding Sanchez if they were going to find an adequate replacement for the current player. So this is what had basically been reported out. But as I keep saying, with the Alexis Sanchez case, guys, he's a quality player. I'd have liked him at Manchester United. But it looks so when January comes, City are going to be emerged as the front runners, and they could get him for just £20 million. And Arsenal did have their chance to get £50-60 million for him, but they currently turned this down. So they may have lost out on money in that situation. But obviously, if they can't find a replacement, then they're looking to keep Alexis Sanchez on the board. But what was I saying now? But yeah, we know City have spent a lot of money in the current transfer window, so obviously they're going to re-go for him in January. But it was all the plans, you know, if City were prepared to offer Sterling, which he did say that was the rumour before, if they were prepared to offer Sterling as part of the deal, who City bought 2 years ago, £49 million. Arsenal pay a make-weight fee for Sterling, City offer money, plus they get Sanchez, and Arsenal offer a make-weight fee for Sterling. That was going to, I think Arsenal were going to take that into consideration, but as I said, City were reluctant and resisted to offload Sterling. There were rumours about Aguero early on in the window, that's just gone as well. That didn't come to a conclusion because City are not prepared to offload the current player. But yeah, I do think City are going to purchase Alexis Sanchez in January, because you can tell he's clearly unhappy with the club. Guardiola's not really said much about Alexis Sanchez, but you can tell that he currently does want the player, and he even told his teammates as well that he currently wants to go Alexis Sanchez as well. So there you go. And I think, as I'm explaining, you know, with the Lamar situation, you know, if Arsenal had got Lamar for the entirety of the last window, you know, they was very, very interested in Thomas Lamar. They'd come to a conclusion, you know, it didn't happen because right at the final hurdle, you know, he decided that he didn't want to make the move to Arsenal. As I did say, the £92 million bid had been accepted by Monaco, and they generated a lot of funds. You know, they must have made over £300 million on sales for the departure of their players, who performed fantastically well for them last season. Yeah, Arsenal had a £92 million bid accepted, but Lamar didn't want to go. And as I said early on in the window, Lamar was convinced he wanted to make the move to Arsenal. He wanted to make the move, but Monaco's resistance and they were very reluctant to offload their current player. Arsenal had been in discussions for a long period of time with Monaco, trying to get a deal over the line. I think they had 2 bids in the region actually currently turned down by Monaco because Arsenal were not willing to meet the valuation, which I think was 70 million or just over 70 million that Monaco would holding out. And then basically we're still talks, and the vice president had actually come in and basically was convinced that Lamar was actually going to stay with Monaco. And then basically after that, an Italian journalist come out and notified all these Arsenal fans, you know, that don't worry, you know, that he was actually going to join Arsenal. And this is what this Italian journalist, I can't remember his name, but he had come out with this story that he was going to join Arsenal. And then after a long period of time, you know, Arsenal had ended up giving up. They had a couple of other targets. They had Draxler as a possible replacement for Sanchez as well on their radar. They had Draxler. Draxler, obviously, PSG have obviously spent a lot of money in this transfer window, as I said, but obviously they've offloaded a couple of players as well. But Draxler, you know, his crossing success was fantastic last season, and PSG, as I said, we were reluctant and resisted to offload the player. He had a few interests from a few teams, but considering he risen up the ranks for Schalke, they only bought him for £35 million. From Wolfsburg, Julian Draxler, and his versatility, you know, is very good. He's very good in the air, very good. Still only young as well, got young experience, and I think PSG want to at least give him another season there, you know, to elevate to a higher level, considering they only bought the player in January. And his agent of Julian Draxler had dispelled the current myth anywhere of him potentially making the move from PSG. So I didn't think Draxler did want to make the move, or he might have done, I'm not sure, or PSG were just reluctant and resisted to offload the current players. I said, you know, considering they got Mbappe in now, Neymar and stuff, and Cavani, who's quality, it may be hard for him to be guaranteed first team football week in, week out. But with the Lamar situation, and after Arsene Wenger classified it was dead, as I keep saying, Liverpool had come into the horizon. Liverpool had a 65 million bid rejected, so they're willing to break the record fee, which they've done with Naby Keita. Whether they get him in January or next summer, I do not know. Liverpool may get him in January, prepared to pay my money, pay another premium for him. But with Lamar, Liverpool, he's got a contract to 2020, as I said. It did say Liverpool did have discussions with a player. They had a 55, a 66, and they're actually prepared to put a £76 million bid in for Lamar, but that had come to an conclusion. I didn't think the third bid went through. Liverpool had 2 bids rejected. Arsenal knew they were getting nowhere. They thought, they were taking on consideration with Sanchez. They will sanction him off as long as they can get Lamar as that replacement. So they knew, right, Arsenal knew we've got a chance now. He's turned down two very, very high bids for a young player. He's turned Monaco have turned two bids down from Liverpool. That is quite a lot of money for a young player. So Arsenal come out of the blocks again, regain their interest, and they currently offered more than Liverpool to try and get the player on the board. But we know that had come to a conclusion, as I said, because the 92 million bid was accepted, but it come to a conclusion because Monaco were reluctant and resisted to offload the player. So I presume that Liverpool will definitely revive their interest in Lemar in January. Maybe Arsenal may as a replacement for Sanchez. I do not know, but as I did say, what did Lemar say? His preferred choice would be Liverpool, so he may make the move to Liverpool in January. But anyway, as I did say, I'm going to be doing my preview maybe later on today for the Stoke and Manchester United game tomorrow. I'm going to be doing my preview on that. But I think, he was doing a fantastic shift for us. Romelu Lukaku's doing really, really well. Risen up the ranks with Anderlecht, I think, won the FA Cup with Chelsea, so he's worked under Jose Mourinho before, as I did say. He's been at West Brom. He's performed everywhere he's really gone, Romelu Lukaku. West Brom, he's been at, as I said, Anderlecht, Chelsea. West Brom did absolutely fantastic. Was it his 2-3 years with Everton was fantastic as well. Very, very good. He scored 25 goals in one season for Everton, and it did look as though we wasn't going to get him. Chelsea would actually emerge as the front runners to get a Romelu Lukaku, but that had actually come to a conclusion because the player's perspective, he preferred the move to Manchester United. And actually now, it was £75 million we did pay for him, but I am actually very, very glad now that we did get him now for £75 million. I did say he was a big game bottler. He does bottle it in the big games, but considering, the amount of money that's been spent in this window, with the Mbappe deal, with the Neymar deal, £75 million's a bargain. Just as I said, with the deals that have been done in this window, Paul Pogba's last summer, what Mourinho had bought for £89 million for, that's a bargain compared to how much money has been spent in this transfer. But I'm glad we've got Lukaku. He's already scored 3 goals for us this season. I think he's going to guarantee us at least 25 goals this season, maybe 30 goals this season is Romelu Lukaku. I'm also happy, with Matic. Do you think he was worth £40 million? Considering now, I presume, I'd say yes, the way he's been performing, in that midfield role, just alongside Paul Pogba. I think he's been fantastic as Nemanja Matic. He's a player that's very skillful. He's good in the air. He doesn't have much territory to play, but he's very, very good at breaking up the play. He's very good at holding on to the ball. He's got good passing ability as well, and it was a good buy, was the £40 million for Matic, but we had other targets on mind, as I said earlier on the window, but that had come to a conclusion. I think we had a couple of bids rejected for Dyer. His versatility is very good as well. We didn't get him though because Tottenham being ruthless. We heard the rumours about Fabinho, that had come to conclusion. So we had Jose Mourinho, then it became Mourinho's main priority target, Nemanja Matic, because we were getting nowhere with the other midfielders that we were looking at. But yeah, and he's been very, very good for Serbia in the past as well, Nemanja Matic. So, and he's also very, very tall as well. So that's very essential. And you've got Lindelof there who hasn't started yet in the Premier League this season. He hasn't made his Premier League debut, that is Victor Lindelof for Manchester United. Due to his pre-season games, as we all said, we know he hasn't... he didn't really play well in the pre-season, the Lindelof. This is probably why it hasn't been Jose Mourinho's first choice. The idea was to put Lindelof and Bailey as a strong centre-back partnership to complement each other, but it's Bailey and Jones that have been at the centre-back partnership, and they've looked absolutely fantastic so far this season. If I am going to be very, very honest with you, they've looked very, very good. But I presume Mourinho will give Lindelof a start. I'm not going to judge him yet, and we'll see how he does when he does get that start under Jose Mourinho, Victor Lindelof. But he's proved it, he proved it fantastically well at Benfica. He's won titles with Benfica a couple of times, Lindelof. So can't really judge him. As I did say before, what did I say? At the end of his current tenure, we'll find out if the player was worth the current money. Same with the Lukaku, but I know he's currently going to be worth the money. I know now, not sure with Lindelof, and I presume that Matic will be worth the money as well for Manchester United. But we've got a good squad, we let players go, obviously, in the window. That was very, very good. But yeah, overall we've got a good squad. As I did say, I still think we need a winner. We was unlucky that we didn't get a creative winner. You know, we need that player that can put balls into the box. And you know, it's just good to have two young age talents. You know, Rashford growing, developing into his game, as I said that he would. You know, he's risen up ranks since he was 7 years old as Rashford. And you know, he's just been an absolutely phenomenal player for Manchester United as Marcus Rashford. He's just been an absolute phenomenal player as Rashford is. He proved last season after Zlatan's injury, Rashford was absolutely phenomenal. And Martial is now growing and developing into his game. He did fail to replicate that form as he did on Van Gaal last season, but the way he has started this season, coming off the bench, trying to score goals, he's been absolutely fantastic as Antonio Martial. As I did say, I did say he hasn't been the same player since he lost number 9, but he's growing and developing into his game fantastically well, and this is why Mourinho would not sanction Martial off. So now, and it's good that we've got Ibrahimovic back now. That's absolutely fantastic as well. 28 goals last season. You know, he's well proven. You know, he risen up the ranks in 1999 with Malmo, and since then he's been at PSG, he's been at Milan. You know, Barcelona. He's just won so many honours as Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and he's just he doesn't rely much on pace, but he's a very agile, very skillful, very good, prolific goal scorer, and he pops up at the right moments, does Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I do think we're good in an attacking sense. I still think there's certain areas in the team where we do need to strengthen up. I did say left back's a bit of concern. I did say we need that winger as well. And I think once we get that winner and stuff like that, maybe add another player in there as well, maybe at left back, then I presume we'll be absolutely fine. And there is time to do that. You know, there's the January transfer window, you know, and I presume we may still go for Griezmann in January because we've still got that number seven vacant at the moment as well. So we'll see what happens. I did say it was an interesting transfer window. You know, Premier League spent 1.14 billion. Serie A spent 1.03 billion. They completed 444 deals, and the Bundesliga spent about 729 million pounds. So I say the biggest spenders were I said earlier the biggest buyers were us, Chelsea. They're in the list anyway. It's us. It's PSG, obviously, AC Milan, Man United, Chelsea, Manchester City. You know, invested quite a lot of money on signings. The list of these, and there's also you've got your Arsenals there. They've lost quite a few players. They generated a lot of money. Real Madrid generated quite a lot of money. You know, for the offloading of Morata. As I did say, you know. Who else with the team? Borussia Dortmund raised a lot of money, you know, as well. Generated a lot of money for Ousmane Dembele. You got Leon there. Leon as well also generated quite a bit of money as well. So it was a very, very interesting chance for a window now. But I will be doing my Stoke preview soon as well. And I did update you on the latest news regarding Liverpool earlier on. This was regarding Emre Can, who signed a 4-year deal back in 2014. Liverpool had purchased him from Bayer Leverkusen for just nearly £10 million back in 2014, and his performances over his 4 years have been pretty good for Liverpool of Emre Can's. You know, it did say earlier on. Well, basically, what did it say now? It did say that he was demanding a release clause in his new deal. It did say Liverpool were unwilling to meet what the player were demanding, and weren't willing to meet what the player were demanding. He was demanding a release clause, and he also may be suggesting about £100,000 a week in his current new deal. This player is a player that's he's had a good start to the season as Emre Can. You know, he scored twice against Hoffenheim. He scored twice in the Premier League in 3 appearances, and he made about 30 odd appearances last season for Liverpool, and I think he scored about 5 goals as well. But actually, the player, believe it or not, could become a free transfer next summer. But I think Juventus are convinced that they could get the player in January as well. And apparently, Italian press had reported Juventus have been very, very heavily linked with the player. I think they had a 23 million bid turned down from Liverpool. It said Manchester United have had an interest, Chelsea have had an interest, Bayern Munich have had an interest in Emre Can as well. But I did say, you know, Emre Can, you know, he's a player that risen up the ranks. You know, he was at Bayern Munich. The majority of his time there, he was in the reserve team with Bayern Munich. I think he risen up the ranks to the first team as well. He won quite a few honours there, but he hasn't won many honours at Liverpool, guys. Well, he hasn't won any honours at Liverpool regarding silverware. He hasn't won trophies, but he was at Bayern Munich, was it 3-4 years? And then went to Bayer Leverkusen, I think, for a year. And then Liverpool had killed the and he's made about over 100 appearances for Liverpool as Emre Can. But he's won Liverpool Young Player of the Season with them. And his performances have actually been quite good of Emre Can's. They have been quite good, guys, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. You know, he's a player that's defensive mid. He can play as central. He can play he can play as centre-back, and I think he can play as a full-back as well, It's a very versatile player, skillful, tenacious, very agile player, very competitive. And Klopp still thinks he's an iconic figure, but he's a player that is coming to an end of his current deal. Is Emre Can. Also won with Germany the 2017 Confederations Cup with Germany as well, did Emre Can. But as I did say, Liverpool, as I did say, with an Naby Keita situation, as I do keep saying, guys, it did say a Bundesliga expert had basically suggested out yesterday that if Liverpool prepared to pay more money, prepared to pay another premium for this release clause and all that, it could be overscheduled and they could get the pursuit of Naby Keita in January. I presume it did basically say, it confirmed just before the window ended, as I've updated you on a regular basis, that his arrival would be, it was completed, but it did say his arrival would be the 1st of July 2018. That was his confirmed arrival, but it's just saying it could be overscheduled. Liverpool paid to pay another premium. This is the Bundesliga expert that has actually come out with this story. Obviously, we know Naby Keita did want to make the move. It's confirmed he is going to be fulfilling that number 8 spot, I think, is Naby Keita when he confirms his current arrival. He's a player that progressed fantastically well, with RP Leeds are big, he was a key player, got them to Champions League, got them into second place as well. RP Leeds big bought him in 2016 from Salzburg, I think it was, but it is a 48 million release clause, and whatever the circumstances, depending whether they progress to any European competition, whether they progress to Champions League or whatever, there's still add-ons included in this situation. So if they progress to the Champions League, I think it's going to be an extra 20 million added on to the 48 million release clause. Or if they don't make the Champions League, I think it's going to be 10 million or something like that. I think it's, so either way, there's add-ons included as part of the deal. I presume he will be signing a 5-year deal as well. And the club, and basically, the club, the official website had confirmed the signing of Naby Keita. He's a player that, and he's ecstatic about this. Is the player, he's a player that Liverpool have been very interested during the transfer window. Obviously, the resistance of RP Leeds and big, they were not willing to offload the player. But obviously, Liverpool had a 66 million bid turned down as well. But obviously, with the add-ons including this, it could add up to probably between 65-70 million pound. Either way, as I do say, either way, it's going to add up to between about 65-70 million pound in total with the add-ons. And I think that I will be signing a 5-year deal with Liverpool. So they could get him in January. They may get him in January. I'm not quite sure, guys, yet on that situation. But I'm also impressed, with the transfer window, as I do keep saying, Tottenham's signing of Serge Aurier. That's a very good signing for them as well. Also impressed, they've got Davinson Sanchez there. So Tottenham, have re-elected, they've fulfilled that spot for their departure of Kyle Walker, who was the best player for England last season. They've fulfilled that spot, They've got now a backup striker, they've got Llorente in there. Tottenham weren't doing well to a certain point, but towards the latter stage of the window, they got 3 significant signs. They've been consistent the last couple of years, but now they did get 3 signings on the board. Tottenham, Manchester, I'm also impressed with Everton. They've spent a lot of money. They're doing very well. You've got Rooney on form, and Everton have done very well in this transfer window. Obviously, they've had tough games in the first opening games. They've had City. Who else did they have? I think, yeah, they drew with City. Yeah, they've had City in Chelsea in their first 3 games, which is very, very tough, you know, when you're coming against teams like that. And they did beat Stoke 1-0, so Everton have not had an easy start. And we've got Everton coming up after Stoke, I think, so that's another tough game for Everton. So they haven't had an easy start of Everton, but they've still spent well in the current transfer window. As I did say with Chelsea, they've done okay in the transfer window, but I don't think Conte's still satisfied the way they've invested money, because they had a 260 million spree. I think they'd still wanted to get a couple more players in before the window ended, but obviously they're going to have current plans. January, Chelsea now hitting the tempo, you know, they're starting to win games. They lost that game to Burnley 3-2, but they've now regained form again of Chelsea. Liverpool, you know, as I mentioned, they've got a lot of quality players in their side. You know, they've got not Van Dijk, should I say. They've got Salah, that's doing very well. They've got Mane doing well. They've got Firmino hitting form. You know, they've got Chan, who's hitting form so far. And I still said Liverpool still need someone at the back. And I still said Liverpool still needs a number 9 as well. But Liverpool, the team that's won 5, you know, they've won the Champions League 5 times. But their goal is to try and get that Premier League, which they have never, ever done. And from my perspective, I'm a Man United fan, we have not won the league since 2013, and it would be nice for Manchester United to get our title back. We've currently won that. We've currently won the league 13 times of Manchester United. So hopefully we can get it back now. Mourinho's bought into our history. You know, he's fed into the club, which is very, very good as well. But yes, guys, this is the main video. Was actually about Alexis Sanchez, guys. So that's actually I know I've talked about more than just what I've named the video, but it's mostly about Alexis Sanchez. That City could get him in January for £20 million. So yeah, guys, Arsenal basically lost out because they could have cashed in £60-70 million. We know City were, you know, keen just as a cash only deal, but Arsenal, even though they couldn't find that replacement, they still could have cashed in £60-70 million rather than only just sanction him off for £20 million in January, or even let him go free next summer. But I think Sanchez is gonna leave in January for definite, because you can tell the player is not currently satisfied with Arsenal Football Club, and they are in deep term oil right now, as I said. So anyway, guys, that is actually everything to update today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel, subscribe as always, and take it easy, and I'll see you all later. Ta-ra. Don't forget to drop a like.